Media and Entertainment presents the Two Live Stews Experience. This right here, this ain't your ordinary-ish.
Two Live Stews Experience, Ryan Stewart, Doug Stewart. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yes, we are back. What up to the Qs?
Do not let anyone confuse you. The Two Live Stews started this shit. The Two Live Stews Experience, shouty. If you're not stewing, what the hell are you doing?
And we've got to thank God every minute of every day. Good morning, world. Especially good morning to Griff, Mocha, Bella, RC. And I've got two honorable mentions today. Two great Berkeley High School stags. One, my classmate, John Dingle. And the second honorable mention, Shedrick Moore. He's my favorite stag of all times ever. And good morning to you too, Dougie Stew. How are you, sir?
I'm fantastic, man. How about you?
Absolutely Stewtastic, man. I'd be a fool to complain, and I am no fool, sir.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Yep.
Yeah, no need to complain, man.
I think that's copyrighted when you say it like that. I think that's copyrighted.
No, I don't think so, man. I don't think so. What's the deal? What's the deal, Pickle?
Everything is awesome, man. Just realized that yesterday Morgan had tennis practice, which she looked pretty good.
Yeah, and you sent me the video. She back on that now.
She hadn't stopped, man. She's taking tennis lessons once a week for the last 4 years.
One time we talked about this a while back, and you made it sound like that she was kind of disinterested in tennis.
Oh, she's very disinterested, but I'm not letting her stop.
Yeah. Okay, all right. So we don't believe in forcing kids to do anything. Okay, right. In the video you sent me with her practicing tennis, I could hear her laughing and having a good time. So that's a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, but whether she's laughing or not, she's going out there once a week until it's time for her to play in school. And if she doesn't want to play in school, then I'll let her back off. But there were some girls at her school that's much bigger than her that was at the park yesterday, and they kept hitting the ball across the fence.
Well, I've told you several times, sir. I'll take it out of the ghetto. I mean, y'all's ticket out of the ghetto. Y'all's ticket out of the ghetto is Morgan and tennis.
I agree.
From what I've seen, everything. I like her little softball. You sent a video with her playing softball and her stance. She looked like a real player in that getting in that batter's box.
It's just new to her. That's all. It's just new to her. But yeah, we had a busy day yesterday, man. She's doing well. She's the light of my life, man. I just love her to death. She's amazing. And when she has a good day, I have a good day, man. I know you understand because you have three of them, which I don't know how you spread enough love to have three daughters. I don't know, but the one I got, man, it's pretty freaking amazing.
It's very hard. One of the three I'm on the outs with right now. Apparently, I'm not gonna get into that.
Can we talk about that real quick?
No, I don't really. I mean, it's nothing to talk about, man. It's nothing to talk about, really.
Oh, okay, all right, you're right.
One of my daughters don't like me. Bottom line, which I thought that I was doing pretty good as a dad. I mean, but
how much she pay for college? How much she pay for college, man?
She ain't pay nothing. Right. But we're not going to even get into that. Something else you just mentioned, what you did yesterday. You know what I did yesterday, man?
What'd you do yesterday, sir?
I went to the Atlanta Fair. What? I went to the Atlanta Fair right there off of 85. Okay, so here's a picture.
What'd you take a Minty out there with you?
Something like that. So this picture right here is one of those, trucks, food trucks or whatever that they usually have at the fair. Do you see what you see what they're selling?
Deep fried Oreos, man.
Deep fried Oreos, deep fried Snickers. How do you deep fry Snickers and Oreos?
So we go to the fair just about every year. There's a real big one in Georgia, someplace in Georgia. Like a state fair is huge. But the fair you just went to, that one also, when it leaves Atlanta, it comes straight down to Columbus. And we'll go by there one day too. I don't ride the rides anymore. My back and neck won't allow me to. But there's not one of those vendors that sells deep fried food or candied apples or caramel apples or cotton candy or elephant ears. There's not one of those vendors that I won't see the entire time we're there. I stop by all of them.
So you've had a deep fried Oreo before?
Yeah, everybody has, man.
How do they do that? Like, do they put it in flour like chicken?
They batter it and they drop it in the grease.
Huh.
And the batter is so delicious.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah, it is disgusting when you think about it, but it's once a year. Only time I get deep fried anything like that is once a year, so it's okay.
So I keep talking about this is my 30th year in Atlanta, and they did have, I lived in Cobb County for the majority of that time. They had a huge fair in Cobb County that we used to go to a lot every year when the kids were younger. Mm-hmm. But every year, at some point, I passed by the fair in Atlanta. And I said, man, I've never been to the fair in Atlanta. And I look at it every year, and it comes and it goes. I never go. I said, you know what, damn it? My 30th anniversary in this city, I'm going to go to this damn fair.
Good for
when
you.
I tell you that fair is horrible. They got every ex-convict, every homeless person, bless their heart. It's just really, really bad. And I guess it's no different than any other fair.
Right.
I guess no different than any other fair. People that work at the fair are clearly on the run from something. They got warrants in many different states.
That's got to be a hard life, man. To just be working at the fair, picking up and moving with the fair. That's got to be a hard life.
It's been out there at least 2 weeks. One of the dudes that's working one of the rides, I asked him, hey, man, how long y'all going to be out here? We'll be out here till the middle of April.
Or they stay for a month.
Yeah. You remember we were growing up, we had a fair in our hometown. It only stayed a week.
It stayed a week.
And then it went to another town in South Carolina, another town.
I'm willing to guess that our fair stayed a week because it was Moco. There's 2,000 people there.
Right.
But Atlanta, the Atlanta fair, it's the millions of people drive by every day saying and doing exactly what you did. You drove by and said, you know what? I'm going to pull over today.
Yeah.
So in Atlanta, when you've got about 4 or 5 million people that pass by the fair, I'm sure it probably stays more than a week.
If you're listening to the show right now, whether live or replay, do you still go to the fair? Fair was a big thing when we were growing up.
Yeah, man, I love the fair.
The fairgrounds.
It's also one of the times where I don't fuss or moan or gripe about the kids asking, "Can I get tickets for this? Can I go do that? Can I do this?" Typically, if we go to the fair, I'm like, "We're here for that purpose. Okay, go ahead. You sure you want to do that? Okay, here, go ahead."
Yeah, we didn't grow up like that.
No.
So the fair in our hometown, you're watching 2 Live Stews.
My dad gave us $20 to go to the fair, a whole $20.
It wouldn't. No, I don't think he gave us $20, man. You thinking about today's times? Back in 1978, I don't think we got $20. I'm betting we got $10, maybe
you're
each.
Probably right. You're probably
right. But the fair when we grew up, the fair is situated about a 10-minute walk from the middle school.
Yeah.
And it was a big thing. The parents let you walk from school after school was over to Kids Day or the first day of the
Friday,
fair.
It was a Friday, I believe. Typically, it was a Friday.
Yeah, so we'd walk over to the fair, and that was kind of like, a cool thing to do. And you spend up your little money, whatever your parents gave you or whatever, and for the rest of the night until your mama come get you, you have to just watch people play games. You have to watch people play games and eat cotton candy and candy apples and whatever.
Fair workers got at least 5 aliases. I agree, loose neck, collarbone side.
Absolutely. Hey, man, so a lot to get into today. The Funky Four. Nadi's coming up later with the Funky Four. We got Arley's Report on the entertainment industry.
You mentioned fair workers being homeless. I think there's a homeless story in Arley's Report that we're going to talk about a little bit later.
Yeah, very, very sad. We got to announce the top 5 winner. I
mean, is that what we do the first segment of the show? Is that something that typically happens the first segment of the show?
No, I'm just telling people, I'm teasing that we have to mention the top 5 winner.
Oh, okay.
And what was it? Top 5. What was the category? I can't remember what the category is now, but
Black female singers of all time.
Yeah. Top 5 black female singers of all time. We got the last 48, the biggest memes in the 2 Live Stews Facebook chat group.
Okay, won with a resounding 32 votes.
Your little Arley scam is played out. We'll get to that later. But the big news over the last couple of days, there's still some little Stephen A. LeBron remnants. We can, if somebody wants to mention that in the chat, we'll read a ton of chat at the end of the show.
The videos with LeBron in some motel room talking about Stephen A. and his AI is hilarious. Have you heard it, man?
Yeah, man.
This AI is out of control, man.
I saw one this morning when I woke up early. First thing I do is look at what's going on my phone. That's a bad habit. But I saw one this morning with Mike Tomlin going off on Shannon Sharp. You seen that one?
Call him a muscular slave.
You got to see it. Whoever did the AI Shannon Sharp versus Mike Tomlin is real crazy. But the big story that's been going on is these NFL free agent signings, man. And one in particular that really kind of hurt me, man. Falcons let Grady Jarrett go. All-world defensive lineman. I mean,
he's hands down the best defender we've had for a few decades.
I don't know about decades.
He's just gone. Well, not a few decades, for a few seasons.
So casualty. He signs with the Chicago Bears before sun went down. How you feel about that? One other thing, too. Do you realize that in that Super Bowl, I would have never guessed that Grady Jarrett, I can't even remember that he'd been with the team that long. But anyway, Grady Jarrett had 3.5 sacks in the Super Bowl, man. Did you realize that? Did you remember that?
No, man, I don't remember that, man. The offense was on fire the first half, and the offense died the second half. That's what I remember about the Falcons Super Bowl, man. I don't remember Grady Jarrett, a defensive tackle, having 3.5 sacks. I don't.
3.5 sacks.
That's a phenomenal outing, though. That's probably why he's making the money that he's making. That's probably why he's priced out of Atlanta.
Prototypical defensive tackle, nose guard, and fan favorite. Grady Jarrett's been on a lot of billboards. I've seen him on commercials. Most people know it. I don't think everybody knows it or remembers it.
Well, I'll tell you when I learned this information you're about to tell us now.
Son of Jesse Tuggle.
I learned that about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I learned that 10 minutes ago. How come that's something that's not screamed from the rafters?
Well, I mean, I don't think it's a situation where Jesse Tuggle, and Jesse Tuggle is former Atlanta Falcon linebacker, great Atlanta linebacker. I don't think, I'm pretty sure that Grady Jarrett, that Jesse Tuggle wasn't his mama's husband. His parents weren't married.
Oh, so you're insinuating love child.
I didn't insinuate anything. I'm telling you what the story is, what the deal is. I mean, but there's nothing wrong with that.
We didn't know the Hammer was Grady Jackson's dad because
Grady Jarrett,
because it was an extramarital affair. You thinking?
No, I didn't say anything like that. What I'm saying is people don't connect.
Just tell us what you're saying then.
No, I just told you what the deal is. Now maybe it's a lot of people don't know that, or because one's last name is Tuggle and the other one's is Jarrett. And people don't put it together, and his parents weren't married, and I guess those are all the reasons we just said no. But it's just a point of emphasis that one of the greatest Falcons of all times, Jesse Tuggle, his son, his seed, is another Falcon great of all time, Grady Jarrett.
That's true.
And I hate that we had to let him go, but ultimately this probably has something to do with all of the loot we gave Kirk Cousins.
I agree.
Yeah.
And now the Falcons are acting as if they want to keep Kirk Cousins because they're trying to drum up value for him. It's hilarious. We know good and damn well that we never have to go back to him again. And we know that he cost us an opportunity to really be a good team in the postseason last year.
Absolutely.
It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing the shell game that they're playing, trying to drum up value for Kirk Cousins, who probably has no value at all. And the announcers
but
the announcers that's talking sports are still trying to talk about the value that he could have for a team.
Well, stop in your tracks a little bit about he has no value. For whatever reason, Kirk Cousins has had values over the years. I don't know how they made him.
He had. You said the right word. He had value over the years. Yeah. After last season, he can't possibly have value.
Yeah, but at the end of all of his stops in the NFL, it pretty much ended on bad terms. Or the teams felt like that he wasn't the answer. Let's just put it like that. So you think that's over? You think he's past that?
Naughty Dread just reminded me that if he's on this roster come this Monday, they got to give him $10 million.
Yeah.
He's not going to be on this roster.
Yeah.
There's no way he can be in this roster. They're trying to get a trade. They're trying to get a 4th, 5th, 6th round pick. They're trying to get something for him to make the value that they've paid him make it make sense.
Yeah. Shouts out to Grady Jarrett. I think most people will agree, an all-time Falcon. Did this organization great. Once again, I didn't realize he balled out in the Super Bowl like that. It's been so long. But great player. I think he's still got a couple of years left in his tank. What do you think? Chicago got a good player.
Yeah, Chicago got a good player. I was reading that Detroit really wanted him really bad. I was excited about that, but Chicago jumped in and probably gave him a couple more dollars. So I wish him nothing but the best, unless he's playing the Falcons or unless he's playing the Lions or the Raiders. I wish him nothing but the best.
I agree. Other notable free agent signings, Sam Darnold goes to the Seahawks. What's the chances he goes out there and goes back to Sam Darnold pre-2024? Basically,
I'm willing to bet you anything that he will be one of the worst quarterbacks in the league next year.
The Eagles, a couple of players that were key contributors.
Comment before you go to the Eagles.
Go ahead.
You spend $100 million on Sam Darnold and you bring him in and you cut all the receivers that you've got and you trade DK Metcalf. So Sam Darnold was Sam Darnold, had one of the best seasons of his career, or one of the best quarterback seasons last season because of the players he had around him. He's moving from Minnesota and going to Seattle, and he's got a bare cupboard, sir.
The Eagles, several players from the championship run this year are no longer Eagles. Milton Williams, defensive tackle, goes to the Patriots, signs with the Patriots. Josh Sweat goes from the Eagles to the Cardinals, defensive end. Darius Slay goes to the Steelers. So they lose some key components, but here's the thing about that. Whenever people say, oh, the Eagles lost this, that, and the other, maybe they know something we don't know. Maybe they got some guys on the bench waiting that they think they can come in and do just about the same thing or better, that they're not gonna have to pay as much money. So you gotta wait and see.
They get to 1 or 2 Super Bowls a decade. I think that they know exactly what they're doing.
So a couple of more we'll talk about. We get back from the break. Let's do that.
Up next in the Doghouse with your boys, the Two Live Stews on the Two Live Stews Experience on this beautiful, beautiful Thursday morning. I used to run track, man, and I've been seeing this story on Good Morning America that, again, is mind-blowing. Y'all keep it locked. We'll talk about the baton situation on the Two Live Stews Experience up next. Y'all keep it locked. When you know what to do with what you got, you can do more with it. All right? So shouts out to my man Lavrell as well as the World Changers, making this thing happen and getting it done with your financial needs. All right? The World Changers help empower individuals and communities throughout financial education and implementation. Your agent, Lavrell Hopkins, has made significant strides in the financial services industry, using his expertise to guide and support others in achieving financial stability as well as success. Lavrell uses an holistic approach that addresses the mental, physical, financial, and spiritual aspects of being in a well space and place when it comes to your finances, all right? Y'all give them a call, 919-764-4626. That's 919-764-4626. The World Changes Financials and Lavrell are dedicated to empowering you and your communities through financial education and implementation. 919-764-4626.
POV when you know you can't beat her.
Then my head hit the wall. Boom. But I had a praying grandmother.
There's a lot of things about this video we got to talk about, sir. It's your boys, the Two Live Stews, Doug Stewart, Ryan Stewart, the makeup of those stews. And this is your Two Live Stews experience. Good morning, y'all. Thank y'all for being here. We really appreciate it. A lot of conversations going on in the chat right now. We will make sure that we get to chat a little bit later in today's show. Super chat already coming in. Thank you very much, super chatters. We will address that as soon as time allows. But
shouts out to the super chatters.
Movie when you know you can't beat her.
Watch, man. So the young lady that swung the baton is trying to maintain and hold her lie that it was not done on purpose.
No, but you know what? Today they would say that's her truth. It's our lie, but that's her truth. That's what they would say in 2025.
Man, I wish people could just be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when it's obvious. I wish people could just be honest.
We got to get back to these.
The second part of this baton whooping on the track.
The
young lady that got hit and decided to swerve off the track, she didn't have to do that. She could have kept running.
I think it's kind of like a natural instinct thing for both of them. Seriously. So, and listen.
How often do you see someone get assaulted during a race with a baton? There's nothing natural about it at all.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying is they had the girl that swung the baton had what they call a brain fart. I think that's all it was, like a glitch. It's like a glitch, brain fart, natural instinct. Like if somebody is in your face, is in your space, we talked about this the other day. If somebody walks up into you and is in your space, what do you instinctually do?
I mean, she rears back. She pulled it back a little further to make sure she got a good swing.
I'm trying caca. That's old school. Caca. No, I'm going somewhere with this. If somebody walks up to you in your personal space with ill intentions, what do you naturally, instinctually do?
I put my hand up and give step back a little bit to make sure that there's at least one arm's length between us. And if you step forward within that distance again, it allows me to make sure I defend myself and go beside your head.
Or you're going to swing on them. And I think the brain fart combined with natural instincts, she saw her right there, passing her, in effect, assaulting her, and she hit her with the baton. Caca! That was bad. And she is profusely denying she did this on purpose.
She's a liar.
Unfortunately,
she's a liar.
You seen the video with her and her mom and her daddy?
Yes.
Like they had a press conference about this thing because
right.
The young lady was charged.
Yes, she should have been.
Yeah.
That's a weapon. That baton is a weapon.
But she's profusely denying it. I did not need to do this. We got like 30 angles. Yes, you did mean
to do it. You did.
Now, she had a brain fart once again, but she definitely meant to do it.
As a parent, you say, baby, just tell the truth. Tell him you meant to hit that girl.
Yeah, I think it's
you
bad.
have to.
Yeah. She had a brain fart. She made a mistake. Now, that whole scenario about somebody passing somebody on the track in a relay has happened, I don't know, 50 million times in human history. And I've never seen that before. That was crazy.
Shame on her, man. That's all I can say.
My daughter ran, speaking of which, Kiara ran the 100-meter or 200 meters. She ran one of them relay races.
There's no 100-meter relay.
No.
That's the fastest race in sports. There's no 100-meter relay.
200-meter relay. Yeah, there's a 100-meter relay. There's a 100-meter relay. What you talking about?
There's a 100-meter race, but not a relay. A relay.
Yes, there is. They ran a 100-meter relay in the Olympics. They run a 100-meter relay, man. Maybe they didn't do it when you ran.
Do you know what relay means?
Yes.
What's it mean?
They passed the baton. It's 4 people.
So what are they running, 25 yards each? Stop it, Doug.
They're running 100 meters. each.
You said 100-meter Oh, you mean the 400 meters? It's not a 100-meter relay.
That's not the 400 meters. 400 meters means each one of them run around the track one time. Come on, man. I've been going to track meets for the last 15 years. What are you talking about?
400 means 4 times around the track. 100?
No, I didn't say that. I said 400. I didn't say 4 by. I didn't say 4 by.
Okay,
hold on.
Correct.
I did not say 4 by 4.
Okay. All right. Correct.
I
okay,
said
good,
4
Doug.
by 1.
All right. Okay, Doug. Fine. Yeah.
Kara ran 4 by 1 last week for the first time in years because she's just been strictly hurdles, and they put her in the 4 by 1. She did fantastic. They actually came in second.
Right. What leg did she run?
I'm not sure. I didn't even ask her that. I didn't see that this was something that wasn't publicized or not publicized. It wasn't played on I couldn't find it anywhere on TV or anything like that, on YouTube or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's got to be a website that covers track events like that.
Well, a lot of her track meets are on ESPN Plus.
Okay.
Which is the greatest $10 you can spend per month.
Agreed.
Every other sporting event in the world,
especially if your daughter's running track in another state, that allows you, if you can't make it, to just pull up and watch. That's amazing. That's great.
Every sporting event in the world that's not on ESPN or Fox or whatever is on ESPN Plus. I highly recommend, if you have a team like last night. I watched South Carolina State play Coppin State last night on ESPN Plus in the MEAC tournament.
Y'all win?
Yeah, we won. Shouts out to South Carolina State. Yeah, we won. So we advanced to the next round. And ESPN Plus is worth I think it's $10 or $12 per month. It's definitely worth it.
We talked about free agency a second ago, man. I wanted to ask you a question.
There's a couple more guys I want to throw out there too. Go ahead.
I talked with Joe Ham last night in the huddle with Joe Ham, and I asked him a question. There's been 3 quarterback signings. Sam Darnold to Seattle, Geno to Las Vegas, the Raiders, and Justin Fields goes to the Jets. Rank those signings, and then tell me where you see those teams finishing against each other.
The Geno Smith deal was excellent. Was genius, because obviously the relationship with Pete Carroll.
There's a relationship there.
So if Pete Carroll made that move, if he okayed that move, then he really likes Geno as a quarterback.
No question.
And so Geno goes to a great situation. Sam Darnold goes to Seattle. I guess it's great for Sam Darnold, and I guess the Seahawks feel like that he's a younger quarterback, and they see something in him and think he could be big. I don't know. But once again, I think he might go back to Sam Darnold this year.
I agree 100%. And allegedly, Geno was looking for 42 to 45 million a year, and they didn't want to pay him that. Allegedly. But they gave Sam 30, a little over 30, but for 3 seasons. So allegedly, there was a big deficit in the agreement of what should be paid to Geno. So they let him go.
Right. And what's the third one you said? Justin Fields?
Justin Fields, 2 years, $40 million.
I love it for Justin Fields, man. I love it. I love it for Justin Fields. He's getting a chance. Now, that 2-year deal is kind of scary, because basically they're saying you on a trial run, bro.
Right.
And they probably can cut him or waive him or whatever at the end of the first year, probably.
No, I think it was guaranteed.
You think it's guaranteed?
Yeah.
So I'm a big Justin Fields fan. Saw the kid play in high school here in Metro Atlanta. Where did he go to? Harrison. He went to Harrison High School. His daddy is the Bruz.
Back with his college receiver.
His daddy is the Bruz. I just feel like that. I just feel like he has a ton of upside, man. So I'm happy for him. Hopefully it works out. Hopefully he can hit his stride there with the Jets. Aaron Glenn's got a quarterback, a young quarterback, athletic quarterback, fits the mold of these dual threat guys. I love it for that kid, man.
Okay, all right.
For that young man.
It's your boys, Doug Stewart, Ryan Stewart, the makeup of those stews, your stews, and this is your Two Live Stews experience. Incredible year, man. Bosa signs a 1-year deal. $12 million with the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo lets go of Von Miller. This is a very interesting time of year. These last 3 or 4 days of NFL free agency is always a very exciting time for fans of the National Football League.
So Amari Cooper hadn't signed with anybody yet as far as this morning. Aaron Rodgers hadn't signed with anybody yet. And here's an interesting one. Here's an interesting one that happened. I think this happened yesterday. DeAndre Hopkins signs with the Ravens, man. Big deal or no deal? Or no big deal?
Who gives a damn? He ain't done nothing in 3 years. He hadn't done anything in 3 years.
I think
he hadn't done anything.
I think that's stretching a little bit.
No, I'm not stretching anything. He hadn't done anything. He don't stretch the field no more. So he's going to be a glorified possession receiver.
Well,
and maybe that can come in handy.
Yeah, definitely.
But he's not going to stretch the field, which is what Lamar needs. Lamar needs people down the field. This is no big deal to me.
So DeAndre Hopkins goes to the Ravens. Here's some other receivers that went to the Ravens at the end of their career. Ravens is kind of like the last stop for wide receivers in the NFL. Dez Bryant played for the Ravens. Steve Smith played for the Ravens. Odell Beckham Jr., like last year, maybe even last year, the year before, played for the Ravens. There's been several other wide receivers that's where wide receivers go to die. Now, D-Hop, man, they were real excited to get him in Kansas City. I just think maybe, and they got him like midway through the season, maybe the last third of the season last year. I think maybe that they didn't get him in that organization early enough for him to really be utilized and, learn how to play with each other, him and Mahomes. And with a whole off-season training camps and everything together with Lamar Jackson, maybe we might see the D-Hop of old.
2020. Stop it. 2023, he had 75 catches for 57 yards, over 1,000. And ever since then, man,
that was 2 years. That's 2 years ago. Right. Not even 3. That's 2 years ago. Last year was a down year.
Yards with the Titans, 437 yards with the Chiefs. He's had his better days. Prior to that last year with the Titans, when he had 1,000 yards, in the Cardinals, he had with Arizona, he had 717 yards one year, 572 the year before that. He's at the end of his rope, sir. I hope it works out. I don't wish no bad on him. He's an NFL great, but he's not a guy that's going to be a difference maker for any franchise he plays for moving forward.
Oh yeah, he's definitely at the end of his rope. I mean, I'm not denying that at all.
And that happens.
I think that if the Ravens organization bring him in, they think that with a training camp, with off-season workouts, with everything, probably getting together, do some private workouts with Lamar. He's definitely a great route runner. Been a professional his entire career.
He's been a pro. He's one of the best dressed in the National Football League too.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
He gets down for the get down every week. He's always got a special outfit on. Hey man, a little on a somber note before we get out of here. On a somber note for this segment. Word on the street, man, is that your boy Tiger Woods is done.
Oh yeah, stick a fork in his ass. He done. Yeah. How do you it ruptured Achilles, right?
Yeah.
How do you rupture your Achilles and you play
golf?
Did you see any details about how this happened?
He's allegedly he's been training for the Masters, man, trying to get ready for the Masters.
But he's doing no more than walking. At the worst, up a steep incline, up a hill.
And he hadn't even been walking up a hill, man. He's been playing that TGL golf.
I don't want to laugh. I don't want to laugh because Tiger really.
That's my guy, man. I love Tiger, man.
I can make an argument. We've talked about this before. I can make an argument. Tiger, to his sport, is the greatest athlete to his sport of all time.
There's no question.
You can't name somebody else who brought a whole race of people to the sport.
They'll say Jack's the greatest because he's got the most majors. But no, it's not even close. It's Tiger.
Tiger Woods brought an entire race to the sport.
Yeah.
You know, man, ninjas play golf right now, man, all because they were inspired by Tiger Woods 25 years ago.
Yeah, man. And on Sundays, every ninja that goes to a golf course on Sundays puts on a red shirt. Q's included because of Tiger and his Tiger red on Sundays.
Tiger,
hey, man, if they didn't force Tiger to give up his garden tools years ago, he would have surpassed Jack Nicklaus.
What do you mean his garden tools? What do you mean his garden tools?
His holes, man. If they wouldn't have made Tiger give up his holes, man, he would have won another 5, 6 majors, another 10, 15 tournaments.
Now, listen, and this is something else, too, that a lot of people are probably thinking right now. You know, there's always been these accusations of Tiger being on roids, right?
Well, yeah.
An injury like this is very suspicious.
Wilbon talked about it a couple of days ago. And he's the only golfer that's had a physical workout regimen such as his. He used to train with Navy SEALs to get ready for golf.
Well, hold on. I don't want you to move away from my point there too fast. My point is, little injuries like this that he's had throughout his whole life are signs of, a lot of people say, are signs of steroid use. I'm not saying Tiger did steroid. I don't know anything. But I'm saying that talk has been out there, and this type of injury, a golfer tearing his Achilles by walking, is very suspect, and it fits into that category of things that happen to you when you're on that juice.
There was a picture of him walking up the 18th green one year, and, I mean, he was ripped to shreds with that mock neck on. He was ripped to shreds.
Yeah.
And the announcers was like, oh, my God, Tom. Would you look at Tiger?
Yeah.
He was, I mean, he had trapped like he'd been doing shrugs for the last 72 hours straight, nonstop.
Right. A lot of times, you're right. They focus the camera on him, and you like, this dude is ripped to shreds.
He's ripped to shreds. Doing SEAL training, crawling in swamps and fatigues with AR-15 on his back for some reason.
That's not true. I don't think that's. I don't think
that's the picture I got in my mind. It's the picture I got in my mind.
Right. Hey man, I'm gonna tell you what.
I think the guys in the swamp with guns on their backs.
We used to go back and forth. Think about it now. This is 15 years. Well, we've been off radio for 14 years. We were going back and forth about Tiger. Can he pass Jack Nicklaus for majors back then?
Long time ago, sir. Yeah.
And it didn't happen. I was right. I was right. This is 14 years we've been off terrestrial radio. Think about that.
I can't get jammed up, man. His old lady going across his head with that golf club changed his life, man.
Yeah, man. Very, very sad, because really, even though he don't even claim black people like that, you know, we kind of claim them.
The hatred.
we still kind of want to claim him, even though he don't claim us.
Well, I've been claiming him for years. I mean, I know who he is.
Hey, Arley Report. The Arley Report is coming up next with the 2 Live Stews.
You just mentioned something being sad, referring to Tiger. She's got a really sad story, too.
Yeah, very sad. Hey, shouts out to everybody in the chat room.
Doug's already told y'all, man. The Arleywood Report is up next on your 2 Live Stews experience. We'll do some birthdays, and we'll get into a couple stories. Y'all keep it locked.
We got the top 5 coming up, too.
Imagine feeling invigorated and focused, not by artificial substances, but by natural pre-workout supplements. This isn't just a thought, but a reality many athletes and fitness enthusiasts are embracing. They hold the key to elevated performance without the commonly associated side effects of synthetic products. However, overlooking the potential of these supplements means missing out on that all-natural energy boost and focus. It means accepting unnecessary crashes post-workout. It's a pain point that no fitness enthusiast should grapple with, especially when there's a healthier alternative. At Lion Roar Herbs, we produce a vegan all-natural pre-workout that is proven to increase performance and boost every workout. Visit us at lionroarherbs.com to learn more and look for natural performance energy. That's NPE. We are sure you will feel the difference.
Good morning, Arleywood.
Good morning.
Y'all, welcome back to you boys, the Two Live Stews. Doug Stewart, Ryan Stewart, the makeup of those stews, and this is your Two Live Stews experience. It's time for the entertainment report. That's why Arleywood is here. What up, though, Arley?
Hey.
Did you just put mouth freshener in your mouth just now? What was that?
No, I took my mouth guard out.
Oh, thanks for showing us.
Because I didn't know. Yes, so that
she got a nice clear one. Mine is all cloudy.
I still wear mine. I had a Invisalign 20 years ago.
Yeah,
still wear my retainer every once in a while.
That's not what mine is, because I have what's called TMJ. My jaw will lock. It's bad. It pops when I eat. It's interesting.
Damn.
Has it ever locked while you were? Never mind.
It has not. But I am. That is how I get out of it sometimes. Listen, I have locked jaw. I don't want to get locked up on.
Yeah, I don't want no locked jaw with no woman.
Good show yesterday with you and the Dread on the No Show. I really enjoyed that.
Oh, thank you. We had some things to discuss. I don't know how we got down the rabbit hole of a story time with Arley, but the verdict is I like dope boys. I don't know where that came from.
Wait a minute, Arley, you like roughnecks?
No, but that's somehow every story I told seemed to have that element. I was like, wait a minute, maybe I need to go to therapy.
I was just about to say, Arley, it wasn't nothing that nobody put on you. It was the story that you were telling that made people say that.
That's true. But these are people that never came to my house. This is such a story. I have stories. I got stories for days. I'm writing a book. I'm gonna write it under a pseudonym or whatever it's called. Pseudonym, or y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna write it under another name. And
we understand.
Yes, I'm gonna write it under some other name, because I was like, if my mom, and then my cousin was on there, she joined yesterday, and I was like, Lord, she about to tell the whole family we gotta do an intervention for Arley Michelle.
Everybody writing books now, huh?
Yeah. Well, my book is gonna be different than your book.
Yeah, our book is
mine's gonna actually come out.
Ours is gonna come out. What does that mean?
No,
ours is coming out. Trust me.
Let me just say this right quick, and then I'm gonna go into these birthdays. The only reason I'm here is to give my good collarbone, because Nadi gave me some exercises that I've been trying to, work on my collarbone. And because I am mad with the viewers, I am mad with the Stew Nation, and I almost did a protest, but I'm a professional.
It's okay.
What happened? Why are you mad?
Don't worry
I'll tell you later. So what's up out there to the all of the wonderful people in the Stew Nation? It's your girl Arley Michelle with the collarbone and the Arleywood report. First off, we have birthdays. It is Pisces season. Y'all got 2 days until my birthday gets here. So
happy birthday to you.
Damn.
Happy birthday to you.
Y'all saw my
happy birthday.
Doug was ready to move it along, and that's how he does it. We have happy birthdays to author Renee Russell, who is 66. Rapper, conscious rapper. He is
55
today.
How much?
53, okay.
53. Okay. He was born in 72. Singer-songwriter Glenn Lewis. Y'all remember that song? Don't you forget it. Don't you forget the good song.
Not really.
Okay, anyway, he's 51. Grammy 2024 Songwriter of the Year, Theron Thomas, 43. Fashion designer, reality star Jessica Rich, 41. NBA center power forward Tristan Thompson is 34. And my line sister, my 11, Dr. Taro Seals is an age today. We're not knowing how old she is, but she is an
Happy birthday, Doc. Happy
birthday, Doc.
Good meds. She made me, y'all, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna put it on sale one day. I'm trying to force her. She's a pharmacist, a doctor pharmacist, and she made us some like bug repellent that's like a little oil.
Mm-hmm.
The truth. Nothing bit. I mean, it's the truth. I'm trying to get her to figure out how to like not mass produce it. But anyway, lots of happy birthdays coming up between now and my birthday on Saturday. Sunday, my birthday Saturday. Me, Sly Stone, Mike Tomlin, and will.i.am share the same birthday. Shout out to some superstars. I am a star. Baby, I'm a
Second time Mike Tomlin's been mentioned today.
Well,
even though the people didn't vote for you like a star that you are.
Don't worry, I'm not fooling
later.
with these people no more. I done made a whole background for me, honey. I am a star.
Hey, Arlie.
Thank you, Grip.
We'll get into it later.
So story number one, y'all. This is the sad story. Both of my stories today are interesting. One is sad, and one is like a wow. So first off, you all remember the Supergirl group In Vogue, which they broke up, and Dawn Robinson left, and she was in Lucy Pearl, and it did really well. Raphael Sadiq, we've been talking about Tony, because he was he was the lead singer, or the main singer for Tony. I don't know which Tony he was, but Raphael Sadiq, Lucy Pearl had a group. But check out this video, and it's cut from a longer video.
You guys, for the past almost 3 years, I have been living in my car. I said it. Oh my God, it's out. I've been living in my car. Oh my gosh.
It's hard in these streets.
Lucy Pearl's album, the one album they did, went platinum. In Vogue had sold like 20 million, I think. They were constantly on tour and all that. And Dawn found herself in a situation right before the pandemic, living in Vegas with her parents. She and her mom couldn't work it out. She's like, she became the punching bag for her mom. I don't think physically, but figuratively, she was always like coming after her and being difficult. So Dawn left. Her co-manager said, hey, come to LA. I don't have a lot of room, but we'll make it work. When she got there, she has a dog. He has a dog. They couldn't figure it out. He put her in a hotel that, took about 8 months up in the hotel. And then she was like, I've been really researching like van life, living in your car life, and like, what's the other RV life. And I figured, hey, why not? Let me do it. So I've been documenting it. And she said, I finally just came clean with it. I don't know what made her want to tell this story now. Perhaps it's just been too much. She has a membership in like a.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
So how difficult is it for their group to get together and do a tour to help her get back on her feet?
Well, I think when she left to become, now they probably could do that, but they just performed at an event in Oakland, right? Like when Oakland played somebody, it was football related. So it was very recent, and she's not a part of the group anymore. They all fell out. There was a whole battle with who could use the name and tour back in 2014, I believe, or 2012. And so they could come together. Maybe that's why she's putting it out there. Maybe other people, will see the story and want to, because they were all phenomenal singers. They were all gorgeous and phenomenal singers. So they had they were fine. You didn't think?
Yeah, absolutely.
I saw them sing live. I mean, they sang live. When you hear them go,
yeah. So this brings me to a couple questions. To me, and I don't know 100%. Seems like there's either something going on with her psychologically, mentally, either that or drugs. She doesn't look like she's on drugs. I looked at her eyes in that little video. She don't look like she's on any drugs.
That's right, Dr. Doug.
Or she just had bad investments.
It happens.
What do you think? And this also kind of ties back to what we were talking about last week when I was talking about why don't the great groups that we grew up with, like your Jodeci's and your
In Vogues,
why don't they just put all of their petty differences aside and get the money? Like, why would she not be touring with In Vogue? There's no argument.
She thought she was better than them back then, was what was presented to the world. She thought she was better. She left to go to Lucy Pearl. And I looked it up. I could not find it because everything that was showing up was about right now. But I feel like at some point I heard that, or maybe I thought she might have had some kind of mental health challenges. I could not find any of that. So that's me just coming
right. So okay.
up with that. But I also think there's some truth. A lot of people, when they did like a expose one time on the homeless population, this was years back, and they talked to some of them, and several of them wanted to be in that because they had better control over what they want to do. If I go to stay with my so-and-so, I'm gonna have to live with, like, if your mom and daddy say you can come stay here, I don't know why you wouldn't go stay here.
Yeah, a lot of people are prideful, I think, and especially if they've been in the spotlight like that, they feel like they don't want to do anything beneath them. I've always had the attitude. I've always had the attitude that I got to do what I got to do. And when we got ran out of the radio world, many years I thought that it was my bad. Many years I thought that somebody was going to come in and sign us. You know, first year I thought somebody was going to sign us. Second year I was like, what the hell? Ain't nobody signing shit. Third year, then we figured out that somebody is sprinkling salt on us. So I had to go get a job. It's as simple as that. I would, and McDonald's is hiring. McDonald's paying like $20 an hour.
No,
okay,
they're not.
McDonald's? I thought they were paying $20 an hour. That was a big story a couple months back. Well, you put in an application. That's not the truth.
Well, I probably need to if that's the case. I can go. That's why I started
my
my
thing
my
they were talking
career.
about like a year ago about how some of these McDonald's are paying $20 an hour.
Perhaps I can't say that would be nice.
Yeah.
It seems like there'd be more people over there working, and they wouldn't always have you pushing your own buttons at the little machine. But okay.
And she probably another thing, she doesn't have any kids, right? Probably. I don't think she has any.
No,
kids.
it doesn't.
McDonald's pay varies by location and role, but in Georgia, a crew member's average hourly rate is around $11.01, with some positions paying up to $16 per hour.
16. Okay. All right.
My good friend Google told me that. Shift managers starting range is at least $15 to $20 an hour, and that's based on restaurant location.
Yeah. Bottom line, if she had kids, she'd do what she had to do, I think.
Absolutely.
Right.
But I don't think it's not that she's not doing, because she was talking about doing a bunch of interviews. But see, the issue is when you trying to build, like, y'all know, this is just a testament to what's happening in our world too. The market for housing, all of us are like, we got to stay where we live. I can't.
Right.
I know people that have houses. They're like, I would like to downsize, but I'm not going to get if I sell, I'm not going to get to go buy something else that's smaller. Like, that doesn't even make sense. So I don't think one of the first things, my parents taught us, when you get a little piece of change, is go try to buy a house, because at least you'll always have that. And if something happens, it's something you can sell and then make some money if you have to, whatever. I don't know. But, praying for her as a Pisces and the empath, I watched it. I was like, something is not right with this picture. How can you be who they were and not have something, or some people? Did you piss off a lot of people and nobody wants to help you? Like, what is going on? But she seems really happy. She was like, I love it. I
was going to say that. She did seem like she was very chipper to be in the situation that she was telling us about.
I mean, I couldn't live in my car is nice. Now, if I was back in my BMW, the 7 Series that I had, I probably could live in it. It cost enough. It should have had a sink and a toilet in it, as much as the note was every month. Wow. But yeah.
Pray for Dawn, man.
Pray for Dawn Robinson. Maybe they will have I would love to see a reunion tour of En Vogue.
Man, En Vogue was the shit in the early 90s.
Which one? What's the one? One of them was the pretty, like, one of them played in Juice. Remember which one? That was Terry or
I don't remember. I don't know them apart. I don't know their names apart. I just know En Vogue.
En Vogue, they was fine. They were fine. Maxine held down the bottom. Anyway, story number 2.
Is En Vogue really En Vogue without Dawn? Because she did most of the lead, right?
Yeah, no, Terry and the other one that I can't think of her name did most. They all shared the lead. Cindy was in Juice. Yes. Oh, Cindy. Now Cindy was a looker. I don't do girls.
All four of them were lookers to me.
Okay. Well, yeah. All right. Yeah. No, she didn't do all the leads. And that was part of her problem, I think. She didn't do all the leads. She was like, hold up, y'all I'm gonna go over here with Lucy Pearl. And then I don't know what happened with Lucy Pearl, why they didn't redo another album, because their album was great. I don't know why they didn't do a second one. Raphael went off to do it. He does so much production and stuff. He could really, Raphael, come through for Dawn. Come on, get another album, do something. It's gonna be some backstory. Y'all wait and see. Story number 2. Guess who's back? I'm gonna let Tree play it first, and then we'll talk about it.
Call is from a federal prison. This call is from Robert Kelly. You may begin speaking now.
I got 2 minutes. Let's go.
First, I want to thank my fans for being a realist. Now let's get down to business on this breezy beating. These questions on my mind. These questions on my mind. Tell me who's getting on the line. Who's getting on the line. Residuals.
I just need to know.
Tell me who.
Let's call Rick. I gotta go.
I gotta talk about something real quick. It really bothers me.
You gotta be kidding me.
There's prisoners that get studio time. It really bothers me. And I don't understand how that can happen. Tory Lanez locked up doing the bid for allegedly shooting somebody. He's got an entire album out. Oh, yeah. And it's fire if you've listened to it. And now R. Kelly releases a song behind bars with what he's been alleged for doing for decades. And it's kind of fire, too. I don't think they should have access to phones and get studio time while they're serving.
What do you mean? Everybody get a phone call, man. I need to hear more about this story before I give a comment. Go ahead, Arlie.
Yes, Julius 35C. Let me just say this. If you listen to the entirety of it, he did 1 minute and 58 seconds, right under the 2 minutes that is allotted that he said and started. I feel like we're about to have In the Closet or Out the Closet part 2, but from the prison. So there is a challenge. There's a song called Residuals, and that is Chris Brown's song, and he put out a challenge, and so all these different people are singing and doing a little verse of it and, you know, tagging him in it, and he was whatever. R. Kelly comes in and remixes the song saying, who's getting all my money?
No.
Who's getting all my
residuals? He remixed the song in jail.
He just put, what he did was apparently put the phone, played it on his phone, and then, well, I guess he got a cell phone. I don't know what's happening in prison. Y'all, let me just be very clear. I do not understand.
How you get a cell phone in prison?
I'm just telling you what I'm thinking is happening. So he played the music somewhere, some audio recording. He puts the up and he sings his remix and he kills it.
You do know that these are going to be collector's items, right? These songs from jail are going to be collector's items for R. Kelly.
The remix lyrics are ridiculous. And I mean, not ridiculous, like, oh my God, but like, oh, he want to know where his residuals. You know, I gave y'all billions of dollars and ain't none of y'all putting nothing on my commissary.
If he wasn't such a freak, he
could
have been out here writing albums every month and selling. I mean,
he
is beyond talented. That boy can sing. Did you hear him just now?
That's the equivalent. I'm gonna tell you, that's the equivalent to an error card in sports card trading. You know what an error card is?
No.
And you're watching Two Lost Shoes experience. It's something unique to the artist, but in this particular case, an error card is for a famous ball player. There'd be some type of error on the card. I have an error card, okay, that's got Shannon Sharp on the front, but on the back, it's got Sterling Sharp and pictures of Sterling Sharp.
And they're both Hall of Famers now.
Right.
That's gonna be worth a lot of money.
Right. So it's kind of like something outside of the norm of what they're known for. Like these recordings of R. Kelly from jail going to be worth a ton of money. The original recordings, however they did that.
This man is, let me tell you, he has the first one a couple of months back. I told y'all there was an AI recording. So I went and looked. I was like, maybe this is another AI recording because it's all over the internet. It's like busting the internet with everybody. It's a song. You can just type in that and it'll pop up every one of the songs. His attorney says, yes, that is him that is singing. He is in for 30 years, convicted of racketeering, sex trafficking, and he says he has 25 albums he has written since he's been in there. He about
25 albums.
That's what he says. He is about to release new music. Y'all be ready for the R. Kelly Trapped.
He'll never see the light of day again. That's crazy.
He's got like 15 years or 20 years.
No. 30. He is not eligible to get out until 2045. But he is appealing. So let's be clear. He's appealing. He did have a blow to his appeal back at the end of January, so a month ago. But his attorneys are still vigorously, fighting. They're saying that there's some technicalities. There's some other things that they're looking at. He's being hit with some civil lawsuits from the victims. And so it's a lot happening. But he is writing music. How's he gonna pay the victims if we don't buy his music? He needs to.
Outstanding job, Arlie. We appreciate it. Tell him where they can find you at, Arlie.
Check me out. Welcome to Arleywood on all platforms, or Arlie Michelle. Either way.
Arlie, that's That's one way to look at it. It's
No,
all about.
Rel,
It's all,
ain't nobody excited about a child sex offender making music. It's
Yes.
Anybody excited about that, Rel?
Well, let me say this. You have to look at legally. If I got to pay you, how am I going to pay you if I don't work?
yeah, it's all about perspective. Just like Jody and Yvette, we talked about it in the Two Live Stu's Facebook chat group. Long story.
Catch her on the No Show on Wednesdays at 7 o'clock
That's
right here on
right.
Stewart Media and Entertainment. Outstanding job, Arlie.
Thank you, Arlie.
Up next in the Doghouse with your boys, the Two Live Stews on the Two Live Stews Experience. Arlie's partner in crime, the Naughty Dread, will join us. He's got 4 stories that we haven't covered to this point, and he'll have some other choice thoughts as well. Y'all keep it locked to your boys, Doug and Ryan Stewart, on the Two Live Stews Experience.
Yeah.
Have you ever been stranded on the side of the road, Arlie?
Yes.
It's not comfortable, is it?
No.
Dogs and Poodles, if you find yourself in a jam on the side of the highway, give my folks at Bay 11 Towing a call, 404-770-6949. Again, that's 404-770-6949. Being stranded on the side of the road in Metro Atlanta is very stressful and dangerous. Bay 11 Towing is who you need to call, whether you're dealing with a flat tire, dead battery, full-on breakdown, or whatever that may have you on the side of the road. Call our folks at Bay 11 Towing, and they will get to you with a competitive rate and quicker than everybody else in town. Again, that's Bay 11 Towing. That number is 404-770-6949. Good morning, everybody. It's your boys, Doug Stewart, Ryan Stewart, the Two Live Stews, and this is your Two Live Stews Experience. Happy to be joined by the Naughty Dread.
Naughty, what up, baby?
Man, what's going on, man? Same suit, just reheated.
Just
Hey, man,
reheat
you were
it.
telling me a second ago that In Vogue recently performed. Where did they perform at, Naughty?
They was at the All-Star game, the NBA All-Star game. They came out with 3 of them. They did a great job, too. They had an Oakland theme for the All-Star game.
So
think
I'm
maybe
guessing
they're-
that
I think
that
they're
dog
from-
was not a part of this.
No,
Nah,
it's only
I
3
was
of them.
looking for it, too. I was like, where the other girl at? I thought she was like the main one when I was coming up. I liked her.
Yeah, I meant to talk about this
I
on
like
the
you.
show. I meant to talk about this on the show. They must be from Oakland because they had an Oakland theme. They had E40 out there and everybody Too Short. Yeah, they must be from Oakland. Let me look it up.
All right, while he's looking that up, Dre, go ahead and jump into your Funky Four, sir.
Let's get into it real quick. This story right here was really from a previous week, but I didn't have I couldn't fit it in last week, Paul, so we got it this week.
We have just done a deal to start a new boxing league with Turkey, who absolutely loves the sport of boxing.
I am very happy today. I give the flag of boxing to the best man who can handle it. He have a tough job now, but I am sure he will be delivering to the people and the fans the magnificent league and get boxing great again.
The model is proven to deliver the fights that the fans want to see. The best will fight the best, and the fighters will continue to move up the rankings and become world champions. We will continue to make announcements on where you can watch and all the rest of the details on the business as we get closer to the launch. I'll see you soon.
Basketball is next.
No,
telling you.
basketball is already regulated with the NBA.
What do you mean regulated with the NBA?
I'm saying basketball already has a league where they put the best against the best.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is just like Live and just like they're doing with this boxing we just showed just now.
We called
The
this. We
Arab-
called this
the-
years ago.
The Arabs, the Saudis, whoever that is, who have endless money, are going to put together a
Again.
league and pay the players more than they're making here.
No, again, golf was in the situation where it was really unregulated. That's why they were able to do what they did with golf. It's the same sort of thing they're having with boxing. And
So
TKO.
I don't mean to step on your report. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry, man.
No, it's all good. That's what it's the report for you to comment on and give your opinion. But TKO is WWE and UFC kind of combined to make TKO. So now they're going with the boxing, and the formula has worked.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's going to work again. I think for the boxing enthusiasts, this is probably the best things
So,
that happened to boxing in a long time.
When you mentioned the NBA being regulated, what's that got to do with them saying LeBron will give you $100 million for one season?
Right.
What's
I
that got
mean,
to
once
do with it?
LeBron is retired. He's 43, 44 years old. They might give him $100 million to go.
I'm not talking about retirement. I mean, what if they come right now and say, next year, LeBron, we'll pay you $100 million to help us start this league.
Right. Or
the fact that the NBA is regulated does not stop that from happening.
Right.
Which is the point that we've been trying to make for years.
Or if they come to Joker, and Joker's making what? Say Joker's making $40 million a year. They come to Joker and say, we'll give you $100 million a year. Joker will take his contract for the NBA and tear it up. So I'm trying to understand what you mean by regulated.
The best players in the world play in the NBA.
That's true, but the best players in the world played for the PGA Tour, and Liv came and took the top guys away because of money.
Took the majority of the best players.
When I'm saying theoretically, that could happen with the NBA.
Theoretically, I guess anything is possible. They can start a football league and get the NFL players over there playing football if they pay them more money and offer guaranteed contracts.
Yeah,
it can happen. So I just don't think that the NBA is the model of the NBA is already set. Well, the model for golf was due for improvement. The model for golf had been the same way since 1920.
Mm-hmm.
Same with boxing. The model for boxing has been the same since the early 1900s. That's why we don't see the best fighters fighting the best fighters.
Well, what we're trying to say though is that no matter what model is established or unestablished, if you triple in some of these athletes' money, they're gonna go.
And the reason I say basketball as opposed to saying baseball or football is because there's so many more players. There's so many more players. You need a basketball team of 10 players, basically 10, 12 players, and you can do it. Yeah.
Right. I guess you could be right. They offered Tiger Woods $1 billion, and
he turned it down.
Which is crazy.
Right. We gotta give a rest in peace, man, to Junior Bridgman. He died March 11 a couple of days ago in Louisville after suffering a heart attack at an event. He was hosting some sort of charity event, and he had a heart attack. But Bridgman played in the NBA for the Milwaukee Bucks, who they do have his number 2 retired. He played a couple years for the Clippers. But following his career, he owned Ebony and Jet magazine. And despite
he owned a lot. He owned a lot.
Yeah, he owned a lot of stuff. Despite making only about $350,000 a season during the NBA career, Bridgman had a net worth of over $1.4 billion, making him one of the wealthiest former athletes in the world. He was one of the first athletes that retired and really got into entrepreneurship and kind of showed athletes how you can make money after you finish playing your respective sport. I mean, after retirement, he invested in Wendy's and eventually owned over 100 Wendy's and Chili's restaurants before selling them in 2016. Just last year, he had purchased 10% of the Milwaukee Bucks, bringing the franchise to a $4 billion value. So, I mean, this brother was an entrepreneur. He was a forward thinker, kind of before his time for athletes who were getting out of the game and trying to do something with their career.
I don't remember him as a player at all.
He was the Super Six man back in the day. I mean, I only know it because I didn't really see him play much, but because I'm a historian of the game, that's why I say Milwaukee retired his number 2 years ago. I mean, he got so many more honors, and it's so much. I mean, just the things that I can reel off about him. I would ask people, if you don't know much about him, go look him up. Very interesting character. Did a lot for the Black community. He was
in the news last week for something prior to dying, and I had it on my notes to talk about, and we didn't get into it for whatever the reason was. But rest in peace, Brother Brigman, man. God bless you, sir.
Right. So
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Also, I like to mention the R.I.P. to Oliver Miller too, because Oliver Miller passed.
Yeah, I saw that. Days ago. I saw that. Yeah,
right.
Former Arkansas, right? He played for Nolan Richardson, right?
It was Arkansas.
Yeah.
Allegedly, he had cancer. Apparently,
was having a battle with cancer. So we lost 2 NBA players last week. Got to give a shout out to Steph Curry. He becomes the first active player in U.S. Major professional sports to take an administrative job with the NCAA team. He accepted the role with his alma mater, Davidson College, as an assistant general manager for the basketball program, where he'll give his, he'll give like advice to the women and the men on what they can do.
That's so huge.
Yeah, he'll work with general manager Austin Bunce, who is a former Under Armour Global Sports marketing team member. So networking, this how networking work out. He's with Under Armour. So big shouts out to Steph for making a big move before he even get out the game. Once again, Junior Bridgman kind of paved the way to open up these avenues for you can do a lot of things once you stop playing basketball. And a lot of players now today are setting up their future before they leave the game.
Hey, Nadi, speaking of which, we're going to ask you to come back and give your thoughts on, since you're the tabbed historian, we're going to have this question about Steph. I
was going to ask you where you rank Steph all time on your NBA players list, but if that's something y'all going to cover later.
Yeah, we're going to come back with it in about 20 minutes. So stand by. Stand by for that. What else you got?
All right, then for women's history, like I told y'all last week, I had a great women's history for you. A good white woman, man. Joan Whitney Payson. She co-founded and was the majority owner of the New York Mets, making her the first woman to own a major league team in North America without inheriting the team. Payson was a sports enthusiast. She was a minority shareholder in the New York Giants baseball club. Her and her husband had to move the team into San Francisco in 1957, even though they didn't want to, but the shareholders voted them out and had them move the team. So she began coming up with a replacement, making the money to come up with a replacement, which was the New York Mets. So she served the team president from 1962 until 75. They won the World Series in 69 under her watch, and she was the main cog in bringing Willie Mays back to New York in 1972. She loved her some Willie Mays to the point where Willie Mays was a pallbearer at her funeral, fulfilling one of her requests that Willie be there for her. So Willie Mays was there for her even in her death. So she was the first woman to outright buy a professional sports franchise. So shout out to Joan Whitney Payson for Women's History Month. That's huge.
Appreciate it, Nadi.
Also, let me just run down because we're not going to have time to do this in the future, but there are a lot of women who have either ran professional sports teams or was a minority owner of that sports team. So I just thought I would give them a little shine. You had Virginia McCaskey, who was the owner of the Chicago Bears. Sheila Ford Hamp, owner of the Detroit Lions. You had Patricia Rooney, owner of the Steelers. Norma Hunt, owner of the Kansas City Chiefs. Martha Ford then ended up owning the Giants. You had Florence Dreyfus, owner of the Pirates. Grace McKinsky, owner of the White Sox. I mentioned Melody Hobson last week for the women's history, who is minority owner of the Denver Broncos, along with Condoleezza Rice. You have Valerie Carter, who is the minority owner of the Milwaukee Bucks. She is the sole black woman in the NBA. Owner that, well, not so, because you got Sheila Johnson, who's also the co-founder of BET, who has ownership in the Washington Capitals, the Washington Wizards, and the Washington Mystics. So shout out to all those women who doing big things in the sports arena.
That's dope. That's great stuff, Nadi. Appreciate it. We still got to talk to y'all about that your studio audience, man. What do we need to do to contract them? Because y'all studio audience is fire. Ours is, not
ours is non-existent.
Non-existent, right? All right, Nadi. Appreciate it, bro. You're watching the Two Live Stews Experience. Doug Stewart, Ryan Stewart. Thank you so much.
To highlight white women in his report. I guess decided to highlight white women to end his report.
Well, when he was highlighting a white woman, I started thinking about you highlighting white women in the WNBA.
Right. That's totally different. We talk sports, sir.
Yeah, but he was highlighting somebody white in sports.
Yeah, totally different situation.
I mean, you don't confuse the two. It's not as Women's History Month. That's why I kind of let it go. It's Women's History Month, not Black Women's History Month. So I guess he's in his bounds to talk about a white woman in his report.
Yeah, on a white show, it would probably be great.
Yeah, but
there's several shows that would love that white report.
True.
But before I get out of here, I forgot that's her with Willie Mays in New York in 1972. So I just want to get the doorbell.
Who's ringing the doorbell?
Appreciate it.
Okay. Good morning.
Good
I would
morning.
just like, I'm asking a question. I don't want to get into another debacle here, but just curious. Do y'all think white people don't listen to this show?
Very.
I know several that do.
Would you like to grow that audience? Would you like to grow an audience of people that maybe don't think like we do?
Right.
I didn't have any problem with the report.
Okay, I'm just asking because if it is truly his segment,
right?
We could consider just honoring that. And Naughty gets on my nerves, but as the producer, I want to be neutral and I'm asking a question.
Yeah, 95% around here, what we do is cater to our community. So
I don't understand the disconnect with that though.
Right.
It's just me.
Women's History Month.
Women's History Month. She likes
not Black women's history, but we chose, especially like when I'm doing the top 5, I choose to make it Black. But I'm just asking. I hope this is a safe space where I can ask questions and not get kicked out. But
thank you.
I guess I don't have the answer yet.
No, we said it was cool. It was good. And also on the heels of you, once again, I'm trying to get this point out. I mean, you have professed your love for Caitlin Clark to thousands and thousands. No, not thousands, millions and millions and millions of people.
Right.
It's no big deal. Now he highlights some white woman in Alaska.
I think we've got something on the rundown that's going to allow me to talk about Caitlin Clark again. I'm looking forward to that.
Say what?
I'm looking forward to that. We could do it now because we have like a minute left.
No. Yeah, go ahead and do it. What do you got on Caitlin Clark? And you're watching the 2 Live Stews experience.
I have nothing but love for Caitlin Clark. And the question that I will pose is, what's love got to do with it? Because Juju Watkins, after 2 seasons of college basketball.
Hold on. That's something we got to talk about in the next segment.
You told me to go ahead. You just said go ahead.
I didn't know that's what you were going to do, though.
I literally asked. But
I didn't know you were going to do that. You said Caitlin Clark. We have something already planned for the next segment on what you're about to talk about.
Again, I asked, man. Okay, no problem.
Let's go to a break, man. This has been just a. Let's go to break, man. 2 Live Stews.
Imagine feeling invigorated and focused, not by artificial substances, but by natural pre-workout supplements. This isn't just a thought, but a reality many athletes and fitness enthusiasts are embracing. They hold the key to elevated performance without the commonly associated side effects of synthetic products. However, overlooking the potential of these supplements means missing out on that all-natural energy boost and focus. It means accepting unnecessary crashes post-workout. It's a pain point that no fitness enthusiast should grapple with, especially when there's a healthier alternative. At Lion Roar Herbs, we produce a vegan all-natural pre-workout that is proven to increase performance and boost every workout. Visit us at lionroarherbs.com to learn more and look for natural performance energy. That's NPE. We are sure you will feel the difference.
Give us some Roni, brother. Oh, yeah.
Do we stand back up again? Come on. I'm sitting down for this one, man.
I don't know about you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ricky's showing his age today. Try to steal a couple of parts on here. Hey, come on.
Hey. This one of them joints, you gotta do the ATL bounce on that one.
Sing it, baby.
Bobby sounds great, and Bobby looks amazing.
That is
right he's about 150 pounds down. Give her your love. My heart belongs to Tenderoni. She's mine. She's my only girl. My only heart. My heart belongs to Tenderoni. You know, he took my spot in New Edition, right? You remember that whole thing, right? That's the word on the street.
You were actually there too, man. Bobby sound good. Not as good as me, but Bobby sound good.
Bobby sounds good, and he looks great.
Looks like he's losing a couple pounds.
I'm very glad something's triggered him to change his health pattern and take care of himself.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a couple of shows he did where he was like over 300 pounds, and he just didn't look good. He didn't look healthy at all. He looked like he was going to drop any minute. So I'm very happy to see a lifestyle change for Bobby Brown.
Hey, welcome back to the Two Live Stews, the Two Live Stews Experience. Doug Stewart, Ryan Stewart. So we got the top 5 winner from last week, but before we even get into that, we got last 48, we got video. You wanted to finish up where you left off in the last segment, and then we can actually show that meme that kind of applies to it.
Well, everyone knows my professed love for Caitlin Clark.
Right.
I think she's amazing for the sport. I think she's a hell of an athlete, all-time scorer in NCAA history. But my love for her has nothing to do with anything, because I want everybody to know that Juju was on deck. And even though I've got nothing but love for Caitlin Clark, after 2 seasons, Juju has passed her point total. So I could easily see a new love in my life, and that being Juju from the University of Southern California's Trojans women's basketball team.
Okay,
I can easily see it.
So we actually had one of the memes from the last 48, which are the biggest memes in the Two Live Stews Facebook chat group over the last 48 hours. And this was one of the talking points, that Juju's passed Caitlin Clark in the first 2 years as most points by a women's college basketball player. My question to you was going to be, before you even jumped into it like that, and to the listeners,
I already know what you're going to ask.
And to the listeners, will you show the same love and respect and admiration for Juju when she passes Caitlin in another 2 years?
I just said, what's love got to do with it? And I've always talked about my love for Caitlin was her greatness. So let's see. If Juju surpasses that greatness,
let's see
what love got to do with it.
Let's see if y'all.
For me to be able to see history being broken again only 2 or 3 years later, I would be elated.
I strongly suspect that y'all not going to show the same level of love and admiration for Juju that y'all did for Caitlin. I'm very sure of that. I'm willing to make a wager. I don't know how we can quantify it.
I don't have a damn thing to do with y'all. I speak for me.
Okay. That's good.
I gladly speak for me.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, she's phenomenal. She attacks the basket. She's a better defender than Caitlin. She's bigger than Caitlin. She's phenomenal.
And you know what? We can't really quantify it because we don't have. We got documented proof of your love affair for Caitlin Clark on video, but we're not going to be able to in real time compare that to the admiration and love y'all show Juju when she passes Caitlin. We're not going to really be able to quantify it and to compare it.
Well, for the record,
but I'm relatively sure that y'all are not going to give her the same love and attention and admiration that y'all did for Caitlin Clark.
On the heels of me just saying what's love got to do with it, if she surpasses what was the greatest female woman basketball player in college history, I would be elated. And I would love to see her do it, because just like with Cece, I like seeing history get made. I love that. Absolutely love it.
Tree, we doing top 5 or we doing finish up the memes? Let's do top 5. Top 5 results from the top 5 Black female singers of all times. It's Women's History Month. Somehow we came up with Black female singers, and let's look at Ryan's list first. And everybody voted this. It was real slick what you tried to do with this Ollie thing. This Ollie.
Well, for the record, Ollie has nothing to do with my demise. I thought that I would be able to appeal to people that like big booties. It didn't work. and it's okay.
Right. You stuck Erykah Badu. Put your list back up. Put the list back up.
She's a soulful singer. She's got a great voice.
Yeah, but you put her on a list. You put her on a list because you thought people would vote for her bunkie as opposed to her talent. And her
She's
singing.
not all time. She is a good singer, but all time.
Yeah. So you had Jill Scott number 5, Erykah Badu, Mariah Carey number 3, Aretha Franklin number 2, and Whitney number 1. Let's take a look at my list tree. My top 5 black female singers of all time: Mariah at number 5, Diana Ross at number 4, Patti LaBelle, Aretha Franklin, and Whitney Houston. Let's see the results.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations, man.
Let's see the results.
Congratulations, man.
Wow, a mollywhopping. An incredible 61%.
I don't know if it's a mollywop.
That's not a mollywop.
87-54.
An incredible 61% of the votes in the Two Live Stews Facebook chat group voted for my list over your crappy list, putting Erykah Badu on the list and Arlie Michelle on the list to try to garner some cheap votes.
Arlie don't deserve to be on the list? What are you saying?
No, I didn't say that.
You just said that.
You said a crappy list.
You just said that.
Followed with putting Arlie Michelle on the list. You
just said
a crappy list.
That's not true.
I will play it back.
He tried to play the heartstrings on the listeners, and they did not bite. They did not bite. They know that Arlie's name was just an honorable mention and had nothing to do with your top 5, and the people saw right through you. Thank you, people.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. Congratulations on the victory, sir.
Now, what's the total now? 11-6. There we go. All things are back in proper form and order in this world. All right. You're watching Two Live Stews Experience. Let's roll out these last 48 memes, the biggest memes in the Two Live Stews Facebook chat.
Congratulations, man. Hours. Congratulations.
Thank you. There goes meme number 1. One gotta go.
I've never really been a Last Dragon fan.
What?
I've never been a Last Dragon fan. I've watched it a couple times, but I don't get the allure of Last Dragon.
Show enough, the master.
Yep.
That's a classic though. That's kind of like a hood classic, man.
So who you taking out?
And we want y'all thoughts too in the Two Live Stews Facebook chat group. Speaking of which, you can donate to the show. Look to the bottom right of the chat. You'll see a little dollar symbol. Click on that and donate $2, $5, $500. It's been done before.
The majority of people are saying the wood in the chat.
And also,
you don't have the orange glow, Ryan.
if you're watching the replay, same thing. Look to the bottom right of the chat. You'll see a heart symbol. Click on that, and you can donate as well. I think I gotta take the wood out, man, because The Last Dragon is truly a quote unquote hood classic. Bruce Leroy, show enough the master. I think you might need to just go back and watch it again. I'm taking the wood out. Can't take Friday out. Can't take House Party out.
Nope.
I think the wood is out.
Friday coming.
People gotta say about it in the chat.
Friday coming with the 5th rendition of Friday, and I'm looking forward.
Is that confirmed or?
I thought it was confirmed. We talked about it last week.
I would love for that to happen.
Shout out to you, Lavrell. We appreciate you, Lavrell.
Yeah. All right, next one, Tree. You're watching Two Live Stews Experience. Thank you
Call
for joining
919-764-4626 to holler at Lavrell. The world change, just trying to get you and your money right. Appreciate you, Lavrell.
Oh, this is a classic.
This is not even hard. This is easy. This is the easy one.
This is easy?
This is easy. I mean, this is easy.
Who wins?
UNLV will smash them cats. UNLV will smash them. And I love the Fab Five. I love the Fab Five. But UNLV, do you remember? If they wouldn't have thrown the game for Duke to win because they got paid off, they would have smashed Duke.
Greg Anthony, Larry Johnson, Plastic Man.
There was not a better team put together in college basketball.
Well, UNLV did win a ring. They should have won a second ring. They were actually more favored in the second championship they run, but they took
the money. They took the money.
What do you mean they took the money?
Out there in Vegas, man. Them cats got paid off to let Duke win that game.
Come on, man. You can't just say stuff like that, man, without no
They were the better team.
Yeah, but
they were the better team.
But you can't say that they took a bribe, that they took that they got paid off. Don't say that. That's not
It's been talked about for decades. This ain't nothing I'm bringing to the table.
That's not true, man.
I didn't make this up.
You're thinking that's an accusation. There's no proof of that.
Right. Yeah,
You can't claim these boys took bribes to throw games and no definitive proof.
Christian Laettner and crew, Grant Hill maybe. Bobby Hurley was good too. But Christian Laettner and crew was not man to man better than that starting five.
No, they weren't. But on that night, they evidently were.
Right. No,
I just think
on that night, yeah, okay. Okay.
All right, next one, Tree. I think this might be the last one. And you're watching the Two Live Stews Experience.
We have one more. We have two more.
Okay.
We did one earlier. We probably should have finished on this one because I got a lot to say.
Well, we could do it then. The reason I wanted Tree to post this in the last 48 is because of that car on the top.
Mm-hmm.
You know what that is, sir?
It's a Buick Riviera, man. We bought ours from Beaufort, South Carolina.
I didn't remember that.
I'll never forget the day me and Ma drove down there with Dad. I don't know if you were in college already or not.
No.
I
was there
to get that car. I don't know where you are. I don't know where you were.
That top car, our mother had one of those. Let's see, from 79 to 85. Our mother had a gold colored.
It was the champagne colored one.
Champagne colored.
Yes. Yes.
And she had that Buick Riviera on top back in like 81.
God, it was gorgeous. It was a great car.
It was the flyest car in Moco.
It was a great car.
I had never seen it. I had never seen it until we went and got it. But that was our mother's car in gold colored.
Had speed, power, luxury, had a lot of bells and whistles and high tech inside. It was an awesome car.
Did your dad buy her that car or she bought that car?
I mean, she probably. See, here's the thing about our mother. Our mother worked at her same job for over 40 years.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she bought it or Pops bought it or whatever. But it was a big thing.
Yeah,
it was a big thing.
It was a big deal. And it wasn't used. It was brand new.
Brand spanking new.
Oh, it's a great car.
You think she paid cash for it?
No, I don't know about that.
No, I don't know about that.
No. She gave that car to our grandmother.
Correct.
And our grandmother at some point stopped driving it and it sat in her yard for a couple years.
An awesome car.
All right, now last one. We got to get to this. We basically did that to reminisce. Last one. Shaquille O'Neal wants to add Steph Curry to the GOAT debate. Quote, I demand you fans to start putting Steph Curry in the greatest of all time conversation. I played against Mike, played with Kobe, played against and with LeBron. They're all great, but at some point we're going to have to put Steph Curry in that category. I 1,000% agree.
Well, because you're a little guy. And little guys back up little guys.
Maybe that has something to do with it.
It's got everything to do with it.
The reason why I agree with Shaq, and I've said this before in this show, LeBron and Kobe, as much as I love both of them, you know I love me some Kobe, they didn't do anything that changed the game.
Okay.
Steph Curry changed the game.
Right.
As we know it today with his prolific three-point shooting at a guy that's 6'1" that will take a three-pointer from the logo, from half court.
Right.
Guys right now in the sport.
So who are you taking him off? Who are you taking off the list to put him on the list for?
It's not the point of taking anybody or putting anybody on the list.
It's a question. I didn't say it was a point. I asked you a question. The question was, who are you taking off the all-time great list to put him on for?
I'm not
it
taking
would have to be Magic.
I'm not taking anybody off and putting Steph
It would have to be Magic.
I'm putting Steph in the conversation.
That's funny, man.
I think Steph Curry had more of an impact, just like we talked about Tiger earlier.
Right.
I think Steph Curry has a bigger impact in basketball in the NBA than Kobe and LeBron.
Right.
Not saying he's a better player than them, but he changed the game with the way he played. A lot of the way the game is played today and the players that came after him mimicked his game.
This would take too much time, but let me just ask you this.
I agree with Shaq.
In your all-time top 5, you get one starting top 5 in NBA history. You putting Steph on that?
No, because that position goes to Magic.
So if you're not putting him on there, then he can't be a GOAT.
Yeah, but that's not the question. Put it back up one more time, Tree.
But no, hold on.
Shaquille O'Neal's point is put him in the conversation. Shaquille didn't say you're putting him as the #1 point guard of all time. That's a different argument.
Robert Horry in the damn conversation too, because he got more rings than Steph. Put Robert Horry in the conversation too.
Right.
I'm fine with Robert Horry being in the conversation. I'm fine with Shaq being in the conversation. But when it comes to the greatest of all time or your all-time starting 5, Steph won't sniff the list.
But Shaq didn't say anything about an all-time starting 5.
Okay.
You said that. Great. Shaq talked about the GOAT.
If it's an all-time starting 5, it has to be of GOATs of the position to be on that starting 5. Nobody's sitting Magic down for Steph.
You change.
Not even Shaq.
You changing the debate, man.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Sir, he is hands down the greatest scorer or the greatest shooter ever.
You changing the
LeBron's
discussion,
the
man.
greatest scorer ever. But he's only got 1 or maybe 2 tools that's going to be able to be used, whereas the greats have multiple tools. I love Steph, but he's too small and too light in the ass to really be a difference maker at the all-time great level.
I think you're terribly wrong in this conversation.
Right.
You changed the conversation. You're arguing something that's not even being asked. I think you understand the point that I'm making. I think you understand the point Shaq's making. But for some reason, you're stuck on this top 5 thing that has nothing to do with the point he was making.
Well, because you only pick the greatest of each position, Steph's not on the list.
Shaq didn't. That's not what Shaq said.
Which means there's someone greater. No,
Yeah,
it's not what he said, Doug. But based upon what he said, I've come to these conclusions of why it makes no sense.
It's I agree.
You want to call him the greatest shooter? Fine. But he's not going to knock down anybody's GOAT list. He's next one in the NBA.
Yeah, you're totally just arguing about something that that's not even the question that's asked. We got the 2-minute trespass coming up. One of my favorite times of the show. And thank you for joining you boys at 2 Live Stews.
The great FM. I like your point, FM. I'll read you. I started your chat. We'll read it a little bit later, FM. Super chatters, thank y'all very much. We have not forgotten y'all. Things will start off with y'all here shortly.
Mm-hmm.
After this 2-minute trespass, we're going to get to the super chatters. Thank y'all very much. What up, though? It's your boys, the 2 Live Stews. Doug Sir, Ron Stewart, the makeup of those stews. I'm a huge Ja Rule fan. You like Ja Rule, sir?
Love him. I think he don't get enough respect.
Holla.
Ja Rule was what's the kid from Florida that was on everybody's track for about 5-6 years with the dreads? He was on everybody's track singing, harmonizing. From Florida. Arlie, you know what I'm talking about? You know who I'm talking about? It'll come to me in a second. Somebody will post it in the chat room.
You have a song that you could say that this person sung?
No, because he was on everybody's song for like 5, maybe even 10 years. Not 10 years.
T-Pain.
Ja Rule was T-Pain.
Ja Rule. That's a new name too. Thank you, Deanna. Appreciate you, girl.
Ja Rule was T-Pain before T-Pain.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
Think about it.
Ja Rule's voice isn't being manipulated.
Well,
T-Pain was T-Pain because of auto tunes. Ja Rule was Ja Rule because of Ja Rule.
No, right. Well, that's even better. Ja Rule was a guest on everybody's track for like 5, almost a long time. And then T-Pain came along and was the guy that you booked to make your track hot,
Quick couple of NBA stories, man, before we get to these chat. Did you know that the Cleveland Cavaliers, I'm sorry, is on a 15-game winning streak?
Yes. Absolutely, I know that. And this takes me back to the whole dollar bet that we got. Will they, along with the Oklahoma City Thunder, make the finals? I say no way in hell. I don't care how good they're playing right now. That's not gonna happen.
Okay. We'll go.
And I'm claiming conspiracy. Absolutely.
Did you know that the Lakers, the game they had versus the Celtics last week, which really wasn't even a good game, was the highest rated NBA game, non-Christmas Day game in 7 years? Did you know that?
Yep. That's why Cleveland and OKC aren't going to make the final. One of them aren't going to make it. At least one. Both of them might not make it.
Got to play better ball to win. Got to play better ball. And lastly, man, before we get to the chat, sad day for Iman Shumpert. His divorce was finalized from Tiana Taylor. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't. You a Tiana Taylor fan like that?
I like Tiana Taylor a lot, but I think I like her less after I read this report about all that the judge gave her. Iman Shumpert's divorce settlement with Tiana Taylor included a 7-figure payment, monthly child support, and retention of 4 marital properties. Shumpert paid her a one-time 7-figure sum. Shumpert pays $8,000 per month in child support for their daughters. Taylor kept Taylor. She's making more money than he is.
She's a singer. She's a artist.
She curates films. She gets to keep 4 homes valued at $10 million. Couple split their $35 million fortune, which the split clearly goes to her side. Taylor also said that Shumpert left her to pay a $200,000 home renovation bill. Taylor accused Shumpert of withdrawing almost $4 million from their shared accounts, which is probably why the judge turned around and said, hey, man, I got to get you because you just, the books show you took $4 million out. Okay, so we're going to get that back and some. Sir, they say it's cheaper to keep her. Gracious piece.
Unfortunate.
Wow.
Very unfortunate. You're watching the Two Lost Jews experience. All right, let's get to this chat, especially the super chatters first, man.
A lot of super chatters coming through. Thank y'all so very much.
What is the problem with paying someone that had babies for you, lay down, disparage their body?
I was very glad to have this conversation with Doug prior to you getting here, Tree. I was very glad to have the conversation with Doug.
So you're saying she should be paid for giving him sex?
I'm just saying that she already had money when she came into that relationship. Her mom was rich. Like, she was on Sweet 16, MTV, like back in the day. Like, she had her own thing.
Right.
I'm saying that she's not
if
a bad
she had her own
person.
thing, why she got to get so much of his if she had her own thing?
Well, because she also participated in the creation in that space, not the basketball part, not the sports part. But I don't know. I just don't think that there's a problem.
Yeah,
her children are used to a certain lifestyle.
I'm not going to get into that, man, because I've been down this road before.
Thank you for the donations. Till Dog started off at 6:29. We were in production, pre-production.
Shouts out, Till Dog. Thank you so much, brother.
Charlie wasn't even here yet. I mean, Ollie wasn't even here yet, and he gave money. Thank you, Till Dog.
From Till Dog 12, busting the walls Cherry with the first dono. Thank you, Till Dog. We see you. We appreciate you.
Pause. I think.
Why not 2403? Thank you so much. Big show today. Come on and declare and decree at 6:46 a.m. He covered us with the blood. Let's go, Stews and crew. We appreciate all of y'all.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you so much.
Thank y'all for passing the word, fellas.
Absolutely.
Ladies, everybody, thank y'all.
From Carrie Portis, Ryan, I need your Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets to beat Duke today so my Tar Heels can advance today, but Duke looks really good. Thank you for your donation.
Really
Hey man, one thing I do. There are two things I miss about getting paid and being terrestrial radio. One was the Vegas trips,
and the other is
the money.
The cheetah.
The other was March Madness at the cheetah,
which still goes on.
Yep.
You know that still happens.
No, it doesn't.
I saw the ad for it yesterday on Instagram.
The station is no longer in existence. It doesn't still happen.
The cheetah does it. I don't know if this is about the station, but there is an event happening for March Madness. I saw it on IG yesterday.
Right.
At the cheetah. It's named what you just said.
Right. So listeners that never listened to us back in the day, the station's signature, no, it probably wasn't a signature event. It was the second. Well, me and Tree just talked about this the other day. The signature event was the AFC NFC Championship weekend. And then the second signature event was March Madness at the Cheetah. And it started on Thursday. And it was great. The Cheetah is a white strip club.
Shoe show. It's a shoe show.
Yeah. It's a shoe show, a white shoe show here in Atlanta. Now, we did see some of the most flattest bunkies you ever see in your life, but it was fun. All day long, drinking, smoking,
eating,
100 TVs. Yep. You know, the first day of the tournament,
all the games on.
Come through all of the games on. It was crazy.
It was phenomenal.
Crazy. Yeah.
From Richard Bullock. Thank you so much. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you, Richard. Good morning. Appreciate you, King.
Deanna, she is so glad she found you guys. I remember when I think Ryan was auditioning for either the morning or midday show on 92.9. You all too black for mainstream. Love the show, and it will grow.
Thank
we
you,
received that.
Thank you, Deanna. I was just reminded that you've been around for a while, so thank you very much. I was not trying to disrespect you. Thank you, Deanna.
What you're saying probably has a lot of truth to it. You understand politics. Please promote the show. Share the show. Everybody watching right now, the best thing you can do for us outside of donating to the show, we definitely appreciate that, is by hitting the share button. Thank you, Deanna.
Thank you so much.
From June B77, thank you so much for your donation. This is related to Arley's entertainment report. Don Robinson blames Raphael Sadiq for losing her home. Apparently, Raphael Sadiq took all the publishing for the Lucy Pearl album.
Didn't Raphael Sadiq start that group, though?
And I thought about that, too, while we were talking about that. This music business, man, if you don't read every line, you could get screwed.
Yeah.
Big time.
Clearly.
Big time.
That's what Angie Stone was saying in that video. That's crazy.
From Loose Neck, Collarbone Side, thank you so much. Doug was a New Edition member on Tubi. Robbie Brown. The Robbie Brown story.
I don't know what that means. So let's move on to the next comment.
Thank you, Loose Neck. Appreciate you, player.
Moving down, thank you so much, Mr. International. Thank you for your donation.
Thank you, bro.
There aren't 9 NBA players greater than 2-time league MVP and 4-time NBA champion Steph Curry, whose NBA resume is better.
I really think that y'all look at Steph's slightness and y'all slight him. Understand the point, the argument being made. We can't get back into it.
Yeah,
well, he paid to get back into it.
Right. That's why he brought it up. We can get back into it. We didn't bring it up. Mr. International did. It's his show right now.
He just said it. Steph Curry is a 4-time NBA champion, 2-time most valuable player, 11-time NBA All-Star, 2-time NBA All-Star Game MVP, 4-time All-NBA first team, 4-time All-NBA second team, 2-time All-NBA third team, NBA rookie first team. He saved the USA team in the Olympics this past summer, or was it a summer and a half, 2 summers ago. Steph Curry's resume, and not only that, all that I just read pales in comparison to the point that Steph Curry got Dame Lillard and a bunch of other ninjas under 6'5" shooting threes from the half court line.
How many tools does Steph Curry have for the game of basketball?
And he's one of the greatest ball handlers ever.
Right, but I ask you a question. How many tools does he have?
He has all the offensive tools. Now, you can say something about his defense, but the lack of defense is because of his size.
The fact that you won't answer my question is a glaring point that
he has every tool that you can imagine offensively.
Offensively.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
He's probably not the greatest defender.
Well, I just think that you got to do more than shoot. You got to do more. And what we can't deny is the importance of being well-rounded in sports, because guys that just do one or two things, they're just role players. And Steph's not a role player. He's an all-time great, but when it comes to tools of Magic Johnson, tools of Michael Jordan, tools of LeBron James, tools of Kobe Bryant, his name doesn't fit with those.
You're crazy. Let's keep going, Tree.
Thank you, Mr. International. If anyone else has questions or topics they want us to cover and they want it done now, we appreciate your donations. From Griff, good morning, all. Happy early birthday to Arlie.
Oh,
what are your preliminary Final Four picks for the men's and women's basketball tournament? Also, we need a Memphis artist for the 2-minute break. No problem. Thank you, Griff.
Memphis got a lot of great artists. That'd be easy to find
He
somebody.
Said #36 Mafia.
Yeah, 2-minute trespass be easy to get Memphis in there. That's easy.
Rest in peace, Gangsta Boo.
Final Four, women, South Carolina, Southern Cal, Texas, and I can't think of a fourth. And in the guys' game, Auburn and Alabama have been 1 and 2 for a while. I don't know what's going on in men's basketball right now. I don't. In college basketball.
I'm not even going to attempt to try to give names. I got to really do some study into these brackets when they come out.
Ryan, Doug.
Oh, shots out. 10th D.
Thank you. 10th D square.
10th D. Q square. Rue.
Yep.
To the east. Rue. Thank you, bro.
Appreciate
it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pass the word.
From Sydney Action Jackson. Curry not even the greatest at his position. How can he be a GOAT? Magic and Isaiah are better. Shaq doesn't do research. It's evident by his not knowing who the coach of Detroit.
I think every time somebody comments on this, on the opposite end of that conversation, they change the question. They change the subject. You did it. Sydney Action Jackson is doing it.
Shouts out to you, Sydney Action Jackson.
Shaq said nothing about position. His argument was about GOATs and the level of greatness. What I'm telling you is he's 6'2" and real light-skinned, but that boy can play. That boy can play. That boy been around the game since he was a little boy with his daddy.
Yeah, it's a big man. The NBA is a big man's game, and that's not my rules. Yeah. It's just I ain't got nothing to do with that. It's a big man's game, and he's limited when it comes to being a big man, which makes him at a deficit when it comes to that.
Let's go, Tree.
From Loose Neck, Tiana told Iman, I need my money, Byron.
Okay, what's that in reference to?
I don't have a problem with her getting paid.
Tiana Taylor, fine, super fine. What do you rank her? Like, give her a top 10.
She should play Dionne Warwick. If they ever remake Dionne, they look the same to me.
Yeah,
She's beautiful.
They definitely came from the same tribe. What do you think? What do you think, man?
She bad.
Tiana Taylor up.
Her body.
Thumbs up,
you said she gets a thumbs up from me.
Yeah. I mean, some of the stuff, even when in that remake of Coming to America, she's super fine. Some pictures, though, she looked kind of. Who'd you just mention?
Dionne Warwick.
Right. So she give me kind of Dionne Warwick, Grace Jones vibes.
Yeah.
Modern day Grace Jones.
I think Grace Jones
Grace
is
Jones
sexy.
is beautiful.
Yeah,
I think she's sexy. No question.
But the bone structure.
Right.
It's androgynous, but she's attractive too. All right. Thank you, Griff. When I was in high school in the 80s in North Carolina, we watched the ACC tournaments in class.
Wow. Yeah. That's Tobacco Road, boy. Yeah. I can imagine so.
Thank you, Lavrell. I was so pissed when the Stews didn't get on 92.9. Every show they started with sucked.
It made total sense back then, too.
Yeah.
It's the curse.
Thank you, Lavrell. But listen, God knows what he's doing. It's all working out, Lavrell.
Absolutely.
Ferd. He says it's cheaper to keep her.
Shouts out to you, Ferd.
Well, they're in California, but when you get divorced here, you have to have evidence. If you're the woman and you're to make your claims, you have to have a lot of proof. But in California, you could get money if y'all never got married after 7 years.
That's crazy.
From Why Not 2403.
Before you move on to Why Not Tree, shouts out to you, Ferd. Looking forward to the networking event this summer that the Stews will be hosting. Looking forward to it. Appreciate you, Ferd.
From Why Not 2403, thank you for your additional donation. This is a family. Thanks, Stu. Great show. We'd like to think so.
Appreciate it, brother.
Why Not 2403. Thank you, player.
We feel that. We try. From Sydney Action Jackson. I live near Memphis. I don't go to the fair because Ninja's always acting up.
I can imagine.
Shootouts.
Well, whenever I take the kids to the fair, we go early. I don't, when it gets late, more adults and people out there drinking and smoking, So it's good for us to be gone by then.
They had a huge, I'm not gonna say huge. I count maybe 5 officers walking around the fair yesterday. And this
I'm
was
going to that.
At 6 o'clock. Sun wasn't even down yet.
We used to take our kids to that one. I think it stays so long because it's almost time for all the spring breaks to start trickling down.
Right.
That makes sense.
Right.
That makes sense.
From Reggie Mitchell. Good morning. Yeah, we used to see fair workers getting arrested at the fairgrounds all the time growing up.
Caught up with them.
It's some suspect people. I mean, what that life. I should interview some people while I'm down there.
When I went through the gate, I paid $5 yesterday. When I went through the gate, the guy that took the $5, he looked like he was working on somebody's engine like an hour before I got there. His fingernails and the dirt on his fingernails was so thick.
They do all the setup and the breakdown of the machines.
Right.
And then they travel with that stuff.
Right. He don't care about his hands being clean.
Right.
Did you get on any rides?
Gloves.
I don't do rides.
I'm getting on the rides. I love rides.
I mean, I contemplated getting on. They didn't call it the Himalaya, but the same. You know what the Himalaya is, right?
That's a great ride.
The one that goes around and around. Yeah. You strap in.
Yeah, they didn't call it the Himalaya.
Can you imagine how dirty their sex is?
Wait.
I don't want to think.
The workers?
That. Yes.
Did you ever see Carnival on HBO?
No.
They just took, not just, it was very good, but it was about this life, but it was set in the 20s. So they had a lot of 2-headed people and albinos.
Mermaids, albinos, and stuff like that.
2-headed people probably aren't politically correct in 2025 because I didn't see any of that type of stuff out there yesterday. You remember Ripley's Believe It or Not? They used to always have at the fair.
Yes.
And at Myrtle Beach, they used to have it too on the
I'm definitely going over there. But I might go over there during the week when nobody's there. Okay, so from Lamont Hart, Tiger should have known it was just a matter of time when he sat down at that meeting with Trump a month or 2 ago.
He's been falling apart for a while now. He ain't got nothing to do with 47.
Yeah, that's his own work.
Remind me to tell y'all a joke before we get out of here.
What? You can say it now.
Let me say
this
now?
show.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so these doctors decided that they were going to try to determine what happens if you don't use the right side of your brain. So they closed off the right side of the brain, and they asked the person that they closed the right side of the brain off to count to 10. The person said 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So they closed off the left side of that person's brain, opened the right side back up. They told the person, hey, count to 10. Person said 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. They said, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. So what happens if you close this person's brain on both sides at the same time? So they shut down the brain on both sides and said, okay, count to 10. He said, I can really count to 100. I got the best friends ever. I'm going to build the best wall ever. Y'all don't get it.
Trump.
Y'all don't get it.
Got it. Got it.
Maybe
you should tell a joke can we add that?
Maybe I didn't deliver it right.
And you need to deliver them just like that. I didn't get that.
I got a joke.
Oh, God. Okay.
Why don't Russians eat beans?
What is it?
Because they always Putin.
Now that was funny. That was funny.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
You tell the jokes. You read.
Yeah.
Rough Buff put up 8 tomatoes.
That shit was funny to me. I don't care what you say.
No, the Putin was pretty good.
Keep going, Tree.
That's pretty good.
It was good.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Do you think Tiger Woods has ever tasted lemon pepper before in his life?
No.
Hell no.
No.
Hell
But
no.
he's
Tiger.
Mama, those Asians season food well.
Yeah, but basically what he's saying is that's a staple of the black community.
Right. Yeah, I got that.
Lemon pepper wings, especially in Atlanta. I don't know about anywhere else. What he's saying is what I'm saying is Tiger don't want nothing to do with our traditions and stuff like that, man. From T. Porter, he's referring to Dawn Robinson. She chose to do that ish, sounds like to me. I mean, that's the I have
no, she's not choosing to be homeless. She's just not choosing that.
She's not choosing to work either. She's not choosing to do something that would perhaps move her away from homelessness. Eddie Jewell, her ego, she burned bridges. I have heard that often also, that none of those people, they don't do well with her. Julius 35C, I've seen videos of prisoners with damn PS5s and flat screen TVs in the cell.
That's crazy. Talk about R. Kelly from earlier.
From Chucktown, Geechee boy Rob Wilson. Let Kels do his thing. Come on now.
No, homeboy. Nah, Rob. He need to be doing his hard time.
A lot of people feel real strong about R. Kelly and not giving up his music and stuff like that.
A lot of people. I mean, they ride for him, sir.
The Pied Piper R&B.
So are we allowed to do any R. Kelly on here?
Nah, I don't.
No.
I don't vote for that.
I don't want to do it. I was just didn't know your position. Tony Dorsett. Badu has a fat doo-doo maker.
Yes, she do.
I wish you would have voted for that fat doo-doo maker.
She sure do. She got a bunkie on her.
Who'd you vote for, Tony Dorsett? This
he voted
or
for
that?
Me. He voted for me.
This or that?
Let me see that picture of Arley. Boy, Arley was getting it. That's passion right there. Where'd you get that picture from, man? Arley sent it to you?
Google.
Oh, Arley's on Google? Shit.
Facebook. You can find all kinds.
You're on there too. Remember the other night? I swear to God.
Keep going, Tree. Keep going, Tree.
I'm just talking. It's highly possible for Juju to stay all 4 years because of the NIL money and way more than the WNBA rookie salaries.
A friend and I were talking about this at Mason's soccer game the other night. And I said, Juju gonna go get that money. And he said, she can make more in college. She can make more money in college than in the WNBA. Why would she leave early? She's going to surpass everything that CC did. And I was like, you know what? I didn't look at it like that. You're exactly right. She can make a couple million in college. NIL.
From Rough Buff, Ryan messed up adding Erica, talking about the top 5 win this week.
And
I don't regret it. I don't regret it.
No offense to Erica Badu. I mean, incredible bunkie and everything.
She got a great voice. She got a great
voice. What about her voice?
She's kind of weird.
Oh, she's very weird.
Okay, so a lot of people turns a lot of people off that were voting, man.
That weirdness also made me not put her on my list, but I thought that I would appeal to a younger generation and a demographic of men that like big booties, and it just didn't work.
Ron Lee, are you kidding me right now? I haven't seen The Last Dragon.
Again, I know a lot of people that hadn't seen The Last Dragon.
What?
That movie was everything.
There ain't nobody over the age of 45 that hadn't seen The Last Dragon, man.
Well, Lee just told you he hadn't seen it. He lying? Yeah.
Oh,
and he's over 45. He likes 70.
Ron Lee not 70, man. Stop that.
No.
Go ahead, Tree. Let's read these last ones.
From Loose Neck Side, he wants you to take the wood out.
Pause.
Yeah. I have to take the wood out of those classics. Those are classic movies, man. How many quotes from The Wood can you remember?
None.
There's about 50 quotes you can pull from The Last Dragon.
None. I can't pull any.
From Carrie Portis, I like Fab Five too until they play my Tar Heels in the 1993 championship.
That's the one they won, right?
Yeah. Loose Neck. Larry Johnson's mama was a cafeteria worker in South Dallas, but he showed up in a brand new 300ZX. I think he means she did. She got a car when he was at UNLV.
How does he know that car wasn't bought for her by her brother?
He
or
tried
her
to
boyfriend.
Yeah, you're right.
You don't know.
From Lavrell Hawkins, my grandma had a burgundy L dog. About cars.
L dog.
From the beautiful Black Diamond, my daddy had a Buick Riviera, emerald green.
That was another one of the favorite colors of the Riviera.
You notice that most of the cars today are basic, like white, black,
red. Yeah.
Back when we were growing up, cars used to be yellow, blue, orange, green. They had more personality back in the 70s.
Thank you, Methuselah, so much. Great show, Stews. Can y'all show the SWAC basketball tournament some love? It's in the A all weekend. Mainstream media hasn't shown any.
I watched a little bit of it yesterday on ESPN Plus. Yesterday, it was FAMU and Jackson State. I watched a little bit of it.
Thank you so much. From Uncle Craig. Happy birthday yesterday, Uncle Craig.
Hey, Uncle Craig, shoot me.
It's Uncle Mike. It's Craig, but it's Uncle Mike.
Thank you.
Sorry, Uncle Mike. Uncle Mike, shoot me a inbox on Facebook with your Cash App. I forgot to send you $1 the other day.
You had a bet and you lost?
No, it was his birthday. Remember we
right. Okay. I agree. Do the same for me.
Do the same
for me. Yeah. Let me know when you get it, Doug, please.
Yeah, I'll shoot you $1.
I'll send it. Stand down, Doug. Have you seen The Color Purple yet? The original?
No.
Oh, good.
No, I haven't seen the original.
Yes.
Yet.
Not the original.
No.
Yeah,
but you saw the one they just made.
Yeah, when it came out last Christmas or Thanksgiving 2 years ago. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. From FM, Steph is the greatest shooter of all time. Leave it at that.
Okay.
This is crickets. Okay. From RC, if you're in the GOAT conversation, you have to be considered top 4 to 5 of all time, and Curry is not that.
He's just not. He's the greatest shooter ever. Surpassing Ray, surpassing Reggie. He's the greatest shooter ever. But it's got to stay there.
This is one of the last. You can't be in the GOAT convo when you're not even the best in your position. Magic and Isaiah are better PGs than Curry.
People that say Dumars too.
I agree with the last part. Ain't nobody gonna say Joe Dumars is better than no Steph Curry. Stop that, man.
Nah, people say Joe is too.
Stop
Joe's
that, man.
Great point guard.
You're running out now.
And last but not least, Courtney Williams. Did Ryan lose? That's blasphemous. If he did. Oh, wait.
It's okay.
The great three-peat. The great three-peat has decided to join us. He has comments. Oh, Magic has 5 rings, 3 MVP. Yep. 3 MVP finals, 3 leagues, MVP 12, All-Star. Steph, not so much. Thank you, 3P.
Y'all, and see Doug, a Laker fan through and through. That's why he won't answer direct questions.
Chat done yet?
Yeah, he's done. He's done now. He's done. So you get to pick 1 or 2 players, sir. Magic or Steph? Who you taking?
That's not the argument.
No, it's a different question. It's a different question.
I'm taking.
You get to pick. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but you asked another question. You asked a question that wasn't posed by Shaq in the original meme.
So if Steph gets put on the GOAT list, then that means that y'all doing away with Magic. Y'all ain't doing that.
That's not true.
Yeah,
that's actually not true. That's
Man,
actually a lie.
Give everybody in the chat a great thank you and an A+ for the day.
Thank y'all.
We appreciate y'all. Thank you very much.
When I tell y'all we got big things popping from so many different fronts, you won't even understand. But just stand by Stand by.
So he's not telling you like 47. Stand down and stand by. He's not telling you like that.
No, I'm telling you, we got so many big things popping. Just stick with your boys. Share the show today, and we coming. Whose quote was that? We coming. Dion. Prime. We coming.
Speaking of Prime, I mean the website should be ready to go by Monday. I mean, so
we coming.
Y'all please, y'all bear with us. Y'all bear with us. The Crying Ryan shirt is hilarious. A lot of good stuff going on. But A+ everybody in the chat room. A+ to Arley. Thank you, Arley. We appreciate you. A+ to Tree. A+ to Dread. A+ to you, Doug. And congratulations on the victory.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, man. A resounding 80 votes. Congratulations to you.
That's what I've been doing. I've been busting your ass since 73.
God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. If you don't know him, you need to find him and show him love. That's all he's showing you. Nothing but love. Y'all be careful this weekend. Be safe in those streets. Enjoy the basketball. Have fun. And if you're drinking, make sure you drink responsibly.
Yeah, call Uber. Save yourself some problems.
Did you give up anything for Lent? Did you give up anything for Lent?
You asked me that before.
Well, I was just asking. I didn't remember.
Did you put the little thing on your head and everything like that, the ashes?
I did not go get the ashes. Okay. I did not.
So Lent is done. Is Lent done now? It's before.
No, it just started last Wednesday.
Okay. I don't know, man. I'm not.
It's okay, man. I mean, you even went to church this past weekend. I'm sure the pastor talked about Lent.
No, not this past weekend. The weekend before, I went to church.
All right.
You get an A2, man.
Thank you, man.
Even though you're a gaslighter and you change arguments right in the middle to support your side of things, you still get an A, man.
I knew you were going to side with the little man when it comes to Steph. I knew it, man. You guys have that in common. Little men unite.
Actually, Steph is taller than you.
Well, but he's little when it comes to the NBA.
Well,
he's little.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me get out of here.
Peace, y'all.